Okay, so now we're looking for a way to change Kano's fate. Which means we have to go back to the decisions and see if nothing really came to mind. It was about time to wrap this up. If this maybe changes how Minurikawa interacts with Kano, maybe he can keep him from finding this syndicate guy. Thank you for your time, Mr. Yanagishita. If you'll excuse me, though, I have to get to another interview. Nah, that sounded weird. Oh no, of course. Allow me to walk you out. Yanagishita rose to his feet as Minurikawa got up to leave. Oh, that won't be necessary. It's no trouble. I'm heading out now myself. Gotta run before those guys show up. What guys do you mean? Oh, nobody. Just a personal thing is all. They parted ways outside the building, and Minurikawa headed off to the cafe to put his article together. Oh, that doesn't seem any different at all, I think. It's safe though, so maybe it's better, I don't know. Oh, perfect timing. Oh no, okay. So, wait a second though. Maybe we won't make the call now. Maybe I saw some foreign guys in handcuffs arguing with someone who looked like a detective. Yes. So this is Kano's idol basically in the police force. Undoing the guy's handcuffs, yes. Bribe, yeah, okay. No, that's just weird. I think this doesn't change anything. Okay, did we have a choice whether or not to call? Can't quite remember. It's been a while since I last recorded, I think. At least more than a week, which is... I try to record at least once a week, but sometimes stuff gets in my schedule and I'm not able to. Which is why I try to record more than a week's worth every week. He hurried off in another direction, so he didn't call. Oh god, wait a second. No. Give me... Let's see. He phoned up the police to leave the tip. Fuck. Okay, no, so this didn't change anything. Which means... I guess we can go back to the... Yeah. We're still on the TBC. So what else? That's... between 40 and 45. If it's not him, and it's not Osawa, what to do with the cat suit? Maybe it's Tama? She's one of the only ones left, I think, even. It's time I skinned this cat. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. It's time I skinned this cat. The exact origin of the phrase "there's more than one way to skin a cat" is uncertain and a matter of some dispute, though it appears to have arisen in the latter portion of the 19th century. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to conjure up such a gruesome mental image. I think it's because cats have been skinned in the past and sold as other animals. I think foxes and even rabbits sometimes, which is weird. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I take hold of the head in both hands and yank it upward as hard as I can. Oh ho? Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than it did before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe... Oh? Seriously? Only to have another one underneath, come on. It comes off. I did it. I slip out of the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. Seriously, what? This seems weird. Yeah, it's... Didn't we reach a keep out before, but... I guess there's something after that we're not allowed to see, and there's two routes for that. One with the catsuit, one without. Anyway, we have to continue trying to change stuff. So this is... Fine is the movement, but we still need to... Is it? Maybe it is fucking Osawa. Oh no, what was this decision? Cooking with Kachiwara? Better to ask Tanaka to make him lunch instead? Since Ai's lunch was gone as well, he should probably ask her to make something. This seems like such a trivial decision that wouldn't change anything, that maybe the game wants me to choose something else. So let's ask Tanaka. Get the feeling that this is wrong, but whatever. Osawa gave him a hurried phone call and his assistant director was quick to agree. I'm having Mr. Tanaka help me here, he told Kachiwara. Oh wait, it's Osawa. I'm having Mr. Tanaka help me here. By all means, go back to your investigation. Kachiwara said. I hope you don't think I'm not inclined to help you out. Since when had helping out been Kachiwara's strong suit? That's not the issue, Osawa said. My, it's such a shame, a friend being treated like a stranger. Oh, how I would love it if you were an actual stranger to me. So, I've been thinking about Kachiwara again, and he's such a big fucking massive weirdo that he has to be a red herring. Oh god, Tanaka looks weird as well though. While Osawa was still struggling to turn down Kachiwara's assistance, Tanaka arrived, his sleeves rolled up. He'd already removed his jacket and his necktie. Alright, he said, what are we making? He sounded happy enough, apparently he didn't mind cooking. He is his assistant, but I don't think cooking is in his contract, right? This was a side of Tanaka that Osawa had never seen before. Oh? Will you be helping out as well, detective? Tanaka regarded Kachiwara in his apron. Of course, it's all part of my duties while I'm stationed here. Understood. Let's get started then, shall we? The pair began rummaging about the kitchen, forming an immediate bond of camaraderie. This is even weirder than before. Oh fuck, now he's in on it as well. Kachiwara just looks so weird with his big fucking eyes. They're beautiful though. Kachiwara peered into the refrigerator. Goodness, you are remarkably understocked, he said. Let's see, could you please put these in a dinger, Mr. Osawa? The detective handed Osawa some frozen lumps of rice. You want me to help out? Of course, it is your rice after all. Osawa wasn't sure how to respond to that. Please go ahead and ding those. Ding? I'm afraid I'm not familiar with dinging. I mean, heat them in the microwave oven, sir. We've read all of that, but let's just assume that it's different enough. Osawa stepped over to the microwave. Unfortunately, he had no idea how to work the controls. Oh yeah, remember. You should thaw that rice out as soon as possible, Kachiwara told him. I'm actually not sure how to operate this thing. What? The detective gasped. You don't know how to use a microwave? Kachiwara gave him a look of disbelief. It should be just as simple as turning the dial. Osawa turned the dial labeled thaw, then crossed his arms with a satisfied grin. Mr. Osawa? I'm sure you already know this, but you need to put the rice inside first and then turn the dial. Osawa swallowed quietly. He has to know how a microwave works. It's common sense, seriously. He's a scientist as well, so he should be dense. I mean, if he never saw one before in his life, maybe, you know, if he was living in a really rural area and farming for his whole life, okay, I would get it, but that, no. He put the frozen rice into the microwave, then turned the dial once more. I don't know what everyone expects, he muttered sullenly. It's not like I've ever used one of these things before. Mr. Osawa, why don't you take this and go wait somewhere? Kachiwara pulled out a sheet of bubble wrap from his pocket. It first showed up on the planet Earth in the 1960s. Why is it phrased like that? It was originally developed not as a packing material, but as a form of wallpaper and a type of cover to prevent leaves from falling into swimming pools. Wow, actually didn't know that. These products did not sell well, however, and the manufacturer instead began to market the wrap as a packing material, after which it became a hugely successful product, not because of packing material, but because of people thinking it's calming to pop these things. Me included. What is this for? Use your fingers to pop the bubbles. That should help you calm down. Too drained to argue, Osawa did as prompted, starting to pop his way along the sheet. Well, Mr. Tanaka, Kachiwara said after they'd spent a little time walking at the stove. You probably don't need to say any longer. Sorry for the trouble. It's quite alright, Tanaka replied. With so little in the way of ingredients, I guess there wasn't much I could really do. Shoulders slumped, he glanced over at Osawa. I'll leave this in your hands then, detective. Are you sure you don't mind? Should I go out and purchase some more ingredients? No, that's fine. Thank you for all the trouble. No, I apologize for not being more helpful. Tanaka washed his hands and left the kitchen. This definitely doesn't change anything, does it? Rather than calm him down though, it was making him incredibly cross. This felt more like a sort of ridiculous punishment. They say you can learn a lot about a household by looking in the fridge, you know? Kachiwara was cooking something. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I keep playing with the fucking joystick underneath my... Oh god, now I said it again. Was cooking something in a frying pan. And Osawa asked, just what have you learned about mine? I'd better not say so. You might take offense. I think this is nothing new now. Yes, it's egg on rice. It looks pretty good. I'm getting hungry again, even though I already had dinner today. And nothing changed. Osawa thinks it's good. Kachiwara is happy. He looks like a little girl, or rather like his girlfriend, watching him eat. His self-made cooking. I wish mine was here to make me some self-made cooking. Looking at me like that, but no. Fuck it. Fuck. Fuck this game. Fuck it for reminding me. Okay. The bug detector. Oh yeah, I remember. It ended kinda weird. He tells him that it's... What? I have something urgent to discuss with you. Did it end like that earlier? I think it must have. So it's the keep out basically. Fuck. It's a TBC on Minorikawa, it's a keep out there, it's a bad end on Achi. Wait, what? Tanaka doesn't answer. Bad end. Is it because Tanaka is occupied with cooking? Has to be, right? But I think we already changed something here. Let's go through this real quick. Finally some movement. Let's see if we encounter the syndicate guy again. Oh yeah, we actually did change something. By leaving earlier, we might have to change the Tanaka decision again, by the way. Fuck it. By leaving earlier with Minorikawa, we actually released Yanagishita onto traffic, apparently. A frantic-looking man had jumped out in front of the car. Wow, hey, what the hell are you doing? Kano sputtered. A strange plastered his face against the passenger side window. I love him. Open up, he shouted. Open the door! The guy showed every sign of a total panic. Junichi Yanagishita. Something happened just after he parted ways with Minorikawa, and now he's running this way, and in quite a panic at that. So is this a jump for Minorikawa maybe? Don't do it, Stanley warned. Kano hesitated. It wasn't like they could just drive off with this fellow clinging to the car. Oh shit, please, you gotta help me. The man slipped his fingers in through the gap in the window, trying to force it further open. That's crazy, because it is actually open more than enough to stick his whole hand in. So, help me. Whoa, hold on, what's your deal? Help me! Sir, just tell me what... Help me! Look, up ahead, Stanley exclaimed suddenly. Oh. Kano whipped his head around. Fuck, so they do actually still see him. There, walking along the sidewalk ahead, was Al Caravan, very much not in custody. What the hell? Kano tried to jump out of the car, but the frantic stranger had gotten his upper body wedged in the window and the door wouldn't open. Oh, like this he can't. Okay. Okay, Stanley, his usual steely expression replaced with a look of shock exited on the driver's side and went after El Caravan himself. Kano could just climb over and exit as well, but I guess Kano is actually kinda stupid sometimes. Kano shouted at the man in the window. Get out of the way! Stanley, wait! Alright, get in! Let's let him get in. Get in! If the guy was that desperate to get inside, Kano wasn't about to stop him. Besides, he needed to get the guy to calm down and let go of his arm. Ow! The man yelped. Let go! Let go! He was the one holding on. Why was he demanding to be let go? What the hell is going on? Just as Kano's thought was forming, the crazed stranger was yanked back out of the car, dragging Kano with him. Oh, it's the Yakuzas, okay. A pair of rough-looking men had grabbed him by his lower body. No, no, he screamed. I can't do 80 days hard labor. Somehow he was still managing to cling to the car door. Just give it up and let go already, snarled one of the assailants. The pair shifted their grip and pulled even harder. Kano heard the sound of tearing fabric as the two toughs tumbled backwards. Oh god. Yeah, I expected as much. Look at the left guy. Jesus. Just like that, the crazed stranger was stripped down to his boxers. He let out a pathetic wail. Oh man! The two toughs burst into uproarious laughter at the sight. Now's our chance, one of them managed to sputter. The pantless man snatched up his ruined garment and bolted like a startled hare, to dart off incredibly quickly in the manner of a fleeing rabbit. Yanagishita runs a lot more like a rat than a rabbit though. Jesus. That's rude. Still cackling madly, his two pursuers rushed after him. Imagine being Kano in this situation. What the fuck would you think? Kano was still staring dumbstruck at the spectacle when Stanley returned to the car. He escaped. Well, no luck. I lost track of him. This doesn't make sense, Kano said, forcing himself to refocus on the case. Also, quite possibly summarizing what just happened, but still. El Caravan was taken back to the precinct. What's he doing walking free? Stanley gave him a dubious look. Have you seriously not figured it out? He asked. Or is this some kind of strange Japanese joke I'm not getting? What are you talking about? Kano replied. Do you know something I don't? Evidently I do. Your detective Tateno let him go on purpose. Tateno, that's his name, okay. That's the only explanation. Wait a second. In this timeline, he should know that Tateno was taking care of him. We only learned of that after we called Sasayama, and Sasayama told us that he ran into Tateno, right? Or am I mixing stuff up? Let's hope I'm mixing stuff up. Anyway, it doesn't matter really. Enraged at the suggestion, Kano took a swing at him, but Stanley coolly caught his fist. It's not me you should be punching, the American warned. It's Tateno. He's actually quite right about that, I think. I'm actually on the same page as him. I think Tateno is a traitor. Abashed, Kano radioed up Kuze on the wireless. Sir, did Detective Tateno bring Tariq Al-Caravan into the precinct? It would appear that, Detective Tateno has gone rogue, Kuze replied with chagrin? Chagrin? I need to look that word up. He what? Surely Kano had misheard? We've received an eyewitness account. Someone saw him allowing the suspect to go free. Ah, okay, so Minurikawa actually has to phone up for them to put it all together, so okay. No, it can't be. We currently do not know Detective Tateno's whereabouts, or just what the hell is going on with him. After Kano ended the call, Stanley let out a low chuckle. I see. Looks like you had a traitor in your midst. Kano grabbed him by the collar. Stanley snorted. What are you trying to pull here? Tell me what you know, Kano snapped. All I did is state the facts. Look, I watched that man risk his life to talk down a would-be arsonist. He's a dyed-in-the-wool detective. He'd never betray anybody. I see, Stanley murmured. Then he's the real deal. What? Kano stared in surprise. He'd expected an argument. Good, he said. I'm glad we're on the same page. Tateno risked his life in order to get people to trust him. He's a dyed-in-the-wool spy, is what he is. Kano didn't have the words. His clenched fist trembling once more, he fumbled for his cell phone again. Who are we calling? Sasayama, maybe? Hello? Anyone? Maybe Rumi? He dialed Tateno's number. The phone rang 5 times but failed to connect. There has to be a reason for this, Kano muttered. Tateno must know something we don't. Really now, Stanley scoffed. And what makes you so sure of that? Because Detective Tateno was sure this kidnapping wasn't about ransom. When did he talk with him about that? Kano's mind drifted back to 9 o'clock that morning. I guess back then he did talk to him about that. Ahead of their stakeout at the Scramble, he was walking with Tateno through the halls of the Shibuya precinct. We're going to do a bang-up job out there, Detective Tateno, he chirped. He was maybe a bit too excited about getting to take part in such a major case. Tateno patted Kano on the back. You need to take a step back. You're not letting yourself see the forest for the trees. What do you mean, sir? What I mean is that this is no ordinary kidnapping. Tateno's words triggered a little revelation. You're talking about the location for the ransom handoff, aren't you? Kano said. It doesn't make sense for the criminals to pick such a major intersection. Warmer, Tateno replied. Kano frowned inwardly. He'd been so sure that was the answer. Have you thought about why they asked to have the sister make the handoff? Kano thought some more before answering. Because women are easier to deal with? He suggested. Colder. If that was the case, why not pick the mother? No. What worries me is the fact that the Osawa girls are twins. They're having us send someone to the handoff who looks identical to the girl they kidnapped. What's going to happen when we do that? You know what? After reading this now, I don't think Tateno is working with the syndicate. I think Tateno is having his own goals here. Which is weird since I don't know what goals that could be. What is going to happen, sir? Kano asked. I'm not sure yet, but I have a feeling the kidnapper's plan hinges on it. Or maybe he just tried to make Kano doubt himself or something, I don't know. The two exited through the precinct's main entrance. Up ahead, rows of buildings stood tall against a backdrop of bright blue sky. Tateno let out a quiet sigh. To think that so many terrible things are happening out there on such a beautiful day. Solve one case and another was waiting, he went on. As always, what is it about people that drives them to do such horrible things? A girl abducted out of pure greed. When I think of how her parents must feel, I almost can't bear it. They made their way toward the Scramble. Tateno continued talking in a quiet voice. My father was a raging alcoholic. The house was always a complete mess. He was loud, violent, never had any money, always reeked of booze. My mother, she would cry and cry. I was afraid to come home. Every day, I stayed out playing as late as I could possibly manage. Kano could hear the pain in Tateno's voice. That life took too much of a toll on my mother. She died when I was still in grade school. And my father just got worse. I was there with him at the end, after he'd wasted away to almost nothing. Not the sort of childhood I'd ever wish on anybody. It sounds like he really went through a lot. Kano hated himself for uttering such an empty platitude, but he had no idea what else to say. Maybe nothing? Kano, as old as I am, I still don't really know what it is to be happy. I think that's probably because I've never known what it's like to have a happy family. Tateno sounded so forlorn. The only happiness I know how to protect is other people's happiness. Kano heard in those words the soul of a true detective. I just hope you're ready. Kano did his best to keep his voice as calm and level as he could, lifting up his clenched fist. Because if I find proof that Tateno is innocent, I'm planting this right into your jaw. Stanley just cracked a wry smile. The traffic had finally diminished, and they rapidly drew close to their destination. The syndicate's hangout was in Tomigaya, to the southwest of Yoyogi Park. So they won't meet the girl assassin now, I guess. The ratty building looked like it might come crashing down at any minute. The Black Lodge sign out front looked deliberately ominous. Kano knew the places above frequented by expats from various countries, as well as a hotbed of criminal activity. "I'll take point," Stanley said. "You back me up." He pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. It was a compact Glock, a model frequently used by the FBI or CIA. We've read all of this. Kano drew his own gun and the two cautiously made their way inside. At the end of the hallway was a wooden door. Stanley signaled with his eyes. Kano gave a tiny nod and Stanley kicked the door in. The stench of blood hit them as soon as they stepped inside. Kano let out a startled gasp. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled out across the floor. He recognized them all. They were the men who participated in repeated attached case handoffs. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Stanley took a closer look. The blood's not fully dried. These guys weren't killed that long ago. Kano quickly scanned the bar high and low, but there was no sign of a killer in hiding. There was no trace of Maria either. One of the fallen men had let out a faint, strained groan. "Oh, still alive." "Hey," Kano called out. "Stay with us." He hunched down beside the wounded man. A brief gurgle rose from the man's throat. He was clearly struggling to say something, but his voice was too garbled, too indistinct for Kano to make out any coherent words. Kanan? Kakanan? What was that? Yeah, exactly my reaction. But there was no more. Can what? King. But there was no more. The dying man went limp and still. Okay. Okay. It's a TBC. Great. We should have cleared up a bunch of stuff though. So I think we can continue with someone else.